Alright guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another video. This time we're going to be talking about the Switch 2, specifically the Switch 2 and all that, because I have some things to kind of say about it and all that. Last time I talked about the game, the new, apparently it's called Tamachi is what it's called. I don't know. I really don't. I think it's like a Japanese name or something. I don't know. That's what it's called and all that. So, although I thought like the way it sounded is like you're supposed to take care of the stuff or something. If you don't, then it can go to hell or something like that. I don't know. Like that's what I heard somebody talking about. I don't think that sounds right. I don't know. It's there are games though where you have to like take care of like things like pets and stuff like that. If you don't, then they die or something. Like I've seen people at school carry that stuff, or like talk about it. It's pretty crazy, But yeah, I'm not really here to talk about that game though right now. I'm actually here to talk about the Switch 2 itself, because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I think the Switch 2, I don't know what the Switch 2 is, I don't think it's doing very well, and all that. Like, I don't think it's doing as well as Nintendo was hoping. So I kinda wanna talk about my thoughts on it and all that, so, without any further ado, if you guys haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe to my channel. I do, reviews, I do, Let's Plays and all that too, so if you guys don't want to listen to me talk about that, then, I have that stuff too. But I really want to talk about this because, as someone who kind of grew up, well, not kind of, actually grew up with Nintendo, I feel like, it's only fair that I kind of put my thoughts on this stuff. So we're going to go ahead and talk about that. So, yeah, so basically, as I've stated, the Switch 2 and all that, like I've said, they're not doing very well. They're not doing well at all. Like, they are, I mean, they're apparently, they have outsold the Wii U, I guess. They are at 17 million, units, which you would think, well, that's not bad at all, because, like, why is that a bad thing? Because, it hasn't even been a year yet. Well, my thing is, though, is a lot of people who own a Switch don't seem to really care about it. And it's basically just a Switch 1 with, like, updated features. That's why I'm showing you guys this feature here. You guys see what I'm talking about? Like, this literally looks just like a Switch 1. Like, literally just like a Switch 1. Like, the dock looks pretty much the same. The controller looks pretty much the same. I mean, it's a little bit more, thicker and all that and bigger, but it's pretty much the same, So it's pretty much the same exact thing, I mean, they do add, like, a few features, like playing in mouse mode and all that, but I can tell you guys that I've tried it out. It's really not worth it, because I do have it at my dad's, and I tried it over the, Thanksgiving break, which honestly was one of the few highlights of going to, like, St. Louis, because I personally don't really like going up there to St. Louis, because I feel like when I go up there, I don't really get to do anything. Actually, I didn't even get to do that. That was actually for my dad's girlfriend. That's what we went. We went to his girlfriend's family and all that. Our actual family, all they do is watch sports. We don't really get to socialize, so I don't really like going up there, but I wanted to see the new dog and all that, so I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and go up there and all that, but yeah, because she's got a new dog, because her old one passed away, yeah, basically, though, that's kind of the thing, though. That's the, that's the thing, though. It's, like I said, I tried it out and all that, and it was not really that, like, impressive. They didn't really improve on anything. The system it still doesn't have really a good screen recorder on it. Like, I want a screen recorder. Like, come on, Nintendo, give me a damn screen recorder. Like we have one on the Xboxes, the newer ones, and then we have ones on the PlayStations, and even the computers can do that. Why can't Nintendo do that, you know? I mean, Nintendo, I don't mind them being a little bit different at times, because sometimes I think they work. But, come on, the screen recording thing is the big one, you know? And all that, and they don't even have that, you know? Because that's what made me not want to get one. I was thinking about getting one, but I'm like, there's hardly any games on it. They don't have a screen recording thing on it, so I'm like, there's no point of getting it right now, you know? There just isn't. You know? So yeah, that's kind of how it is, but basically, you know, they don't really have a lot of features. Like I said, it's just like, it feels like it's just a Switch 1 again, you know, but, like, more improved. Like, they should have called it, like, the new Switch or something, you know, like the new Nintendo 3DS and all that, because they don't really update. They didn't update really the menu much either, like the 3DSs did. It's just the same exact thing, you know, and I'm just like, again, I'm like, if they're not going to add anything to it, you know, like, what's the point of really advertising it as a new console, you know? And I mean, yeah, there's a point in time to with graphics. Like, we're at the point where there's not really a ton more improvements for graphics, you know? But I don't really think, you know, I don't mind that. I kind of, like, I want, like, features that other stuff does not have. And there's a whole lot of things they could do, you know, to make it more interesting, you know? And the games, same with the games. Like, we need new games. We need some new games. The original Switch, we've got some games, but this new Switch, we have not. We have gotten a few. We've gotten a new Donkey Kong, and then we got a new Mario Kart, but that's pretty much about it. We've been getting a lot of, like, remakes and all that, and, yeah, and some people were kind of, like, telling me, too, in, like, someone's comments, and I was just like, you know what, I don't want to, like, fight with the person and all that, and I'm not gonna, like, be rude, you know, it's like, it's their choice, you know, it's their choice, but I was trying to say, like, this person's like, well, I don't want to pay, you know, $200 plus, you know, for a game, for, like, Yoshi's Woolly World, because that's actually rumored to be coming to the Switch, when you can just get it on the Nintendo Switch, and I mean, my thing is, like I said, it's their opinion, their choice, like I said. I just think, like I said, these ports and all that, I'm like, why pay for all these ports and all that when you can just play them, a lot of the crap on the original consoles, you know? And some of them do add more stuff to it, but some of it, they kind of take away things, too, that the original games kind of do better at, you know? So, yeah, it just doesn't feel like it really makes much sense, you know, really, to really deal with that, you know? Like, I just don't see the point of having all that. But yeah, we have, so we have the Switch 2 and all that, and we have the original Switch that look identical and all that, and like I've said, people just don't seem to really care about it. People who own it are just like, you know, there's not really a lot to it. Maybe we should have waited and all that. And yeah, it's gotten like 17 million, you know, units sold. But I'm kind of starting to think maybe that's not right. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like there's something going on. Like, now some people might criticize me with this and all, or say, like, why am I judging stuff like this? But I'm sorry, but there are so many companies that do this out here. They'll try to fake their numbers or fudge something around to make it look like something's doing good when it's not. And I'll give you guys a good reason, too, why I think the Switch 2 is also not selling as well as they're trying to make it look out like it is. And that is the fact that they're putting a lot of games on the original console. Like, they literally put, like, Mario Galaxy 2 on the original Switch. That's a big thing there they did that they probably shouldn't have, but they did. And you could say, well, it was an anniversary thing and all that, so it was for the anniversary stuff and all that, and and all that. So it's like an anniversary thing, and not just that, but not only it's an anniversary for Mario stuff, and all that, and for fans to enjoy, but also they already released all the 3D titles on the Switch. But the thing is, though, like, they still could have put it on the Switch, too. They could have still done that, because that probably would have boosted some sales a little bit and put some more games on there. Now, I don't think it would have been a great game, because from what I can hear, they don't really add a lot of new stuff to it. I don't know, I mean, I'm going to play the game eventually for you guys. But again, I'd rather have a screen recorder to do that than do it on the actual TV. But I'm gonna have, like, probably really I'm gonna have, like, really no choice here but to do that, because if I have to, because I mean, I have a Elgato capture card, but it's not working right and all that, and I'm just like, I'm kind of having to deal with that. So I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what to do there, but yeah, but I do want to kind of play it to see kind of, because there are some changes, like they added like a story and all that, but from what I've seen, I didn't really watch the story book part, but I've watched people let's play it, and it doesn't look like they really did anything. Like, they didn't really fix any of the problems that I feel like Galaxy 2 had. Galaxy 1 had a few too. Like, I think, like, they could have gone Mario 64 DS with the games and, like, fix some of the problems. Like, I think, like, the first games, like, Prankster comments, like, for example, the speedrun comments, although they're fun and all that, they're really easy. Like, I feel like they could have maybe cut down some of the time on them. Maybe they could have, like, changed, like, they could have redid Luigi Galaxy thing and all that, where he plays Luigi, but, like, and all that, but, you get more, stuff there and all that. I don't know, they could have done that. They could have added some more levels for the Red Star. Hell, they could have had the Red Star in, like, one of the Purple Coin missions. In Seat Slide Galaxy, because that one's a freaking nightmare. Which I actually don't mind the purple coins for the most part, but I'm just saying they could have done that, Also, like with the second Switch, I feel, or Switch 2, or not Switch 2, I mean, not Switch 2, sorry, the Mario Galaxy 2 game, that side they could have, like, added the Red Star and Ice Flower in there, because they had levels that were, at least for the Ice Flower, they have levels in there for that, and they probably could have added a couple stars or something, like, in the galaxies, because that's the thing, though, like, they did that in 64 DS, they added an extra star in every level. They could do that with, because I don't know if every galaxy would need an extra star, but I feel like they could do a whole lot with it and fix it up and all that, instead of just kind of, like, porting it, get more of a reason for people wanting to buy it, because otherwise it just feels like another lazy port, it doesn't feel like it's really worth it, and I mean, yeah, there's the Rosalina story thing, but, I don't know, I mean, I hear you can just buy that too, so I'm like, what's the point, I don't really get it, But yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of one of those things, that I don't get. But that's kind of, again, that's the thing with the games too. Like, I want more. Like I said, I want more original games. Like, I want some more original games. Maybe we can get some sequels. Like maybe we can get a good Paper Mario game again. Like one that focuses more on originality. And less on toads and stuff. Like I mean, I hear the Origami King wasn't bad, and I've seen a Let's Play of that, but it definitely does not look as interesting as the older ones. And I played some of the older ones. Now, I guess I never played the Thousand Year Door, but I played the first Paper Mario game. I guess I haven't really beaten it, but it looks a lot more fun than what I dealt with. With the newer games, like I said, there was more originality, and I have played Super Paper Mario. That one had more in there too. It had some problems, but I mean, they could do stuff like that. They can bring back that stuff and all that. Do some more stuff for the Mii characters, like the 3DS did with Street Pass. That was something really smart they did with 3DS. It doesn't have to be Street Pass, and maybe they could do something else with it. I don't know. I mean, they could do a whole lot of things with it, and that's the problem. They don't really do that, They kind of just don't. They haven't been really doing that. It's like they quit taking risk, and that's the thing too. I'm somebody who has owned a lot of the consoles in the past, and I can tell you that after the Wii U, I mean, the Switch had a lot of good games on it, but we can't argue that the console itself wasn't lacking in, stuff on the system. It felt very empty, very simple. There was not any themes or music or anything. It was just very simple. Same thing with the Switch 2, because they basically copied the Switch 1. They didn't really even try, But, that's kind of the thing. Like, we need more original stuff like that, and get more of a reason for people to buy the stuff, but I don't know. But I feel like I'm kind of just repeating myself, honestly, at this point, but I don't know. I don't think in my opinion, I don't feel like this console is doing as well as they're trying to report it as. Because they are trying to say if this console is has like 17 million views. I mean, units sold. And this is around November and stuff. I mean, I guess maybe Black Friday could have helped, but I think I even looked it up after Black Friday. Yeah, I did, because I made a video, I think, after Black Friday, because of, Thanksgiving and stuff, and it because I was waiting to kind of try it out and stuff, before I could start judging it more. And, yeah, it was still really low. And, I mean, maybe some people got Switches for Christmas, but usually by December, people kind of quit buying stuff like that because they already have bought it beforehand. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm having a hard time believing that, and a lot of stores I've been seeing too. I don't know. I feel like they seem to be kind of more stocked with them, like they're in stock more than the other stuff is. And I mean, yeah, people. A lot of times stores keep, stock of stuff, but it looks like they're kind of just sitting there, like they're not even being used. Because I've been to a few stores, and all that, and it's just like they're just sitting there, and where other stuff is actually getting sold, Because, usually they try to, usually stores will try to, let some stuff get off the shelves before they start putting more out. That's kind of how it is. And, these consoles here are just not selling as well. But, yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the fact that they're not really putting a lot of games on this console, but the older one, it's definitely showing me that I think they're definitely seeing some problems with it. Like, even the new Katamari game was for the original Switch. I guess, to be fair, that could have been in development beforehand. I don't maybe the Galaxy 2... in a way, I guess, could have kind of as well, but I don't know. I feel like they should be putting more games on the new Switch, but also I kind of want there to be more of a reason. I kind of wish they would add more stuff to the menu and stuff, because otherwise, again, it's just boring. That's the problem with today's world. Everything is fucking boring as hell. A lot of these companies don't give a shit about trying to make things nice. They just are let's put crap together and call it a day. That's kind of what's happened. Like for example, like fast food places and stuff too. Like they kind of just they don't really go out of their way anymore. They kind of just are lazy about stuff and all that, and that's kind of how these consoles are too. They're kind of like this too. They're just not as interesting as they should be. They just feel like they're kind of falling flat here, and I kind of wish they could go back to doing things the way they did before. But yeah, I don't know, but we'll have to see what will happen here. Maybe they might do something about this. I don't know. But right now, though, I just don't think there's a lot of games left. But we do have some directs coming up, so maybe we'll get some more games. I mean, we have Tamachi Life, or whatever that game is. I think that's how you say it, Tamachi Life. But that's gonna be on, I think, the original Switch, which again is kind of where I'm like kind of getting questioning this stuff, like, and all that. But I hear too on the Switch too we'll be getting YouTube soon too. They're gonna get YouTube, so there's that. For some reason they didn't have YouTube right off the bat. I don't know. They don't have Netflix anymore either. They did have Hulu, but Hulu's shutting down. They're shutting Hulu down. So Disney's going to, they're pulling it off of there because they're shutting it down. But but they could still have Netflix on there. I don't know why they don't have Netflix on there. But that's another thing too. On the PlayStation 3, they're actually removing Netflix too. So Netflix will be disappearing on the PlayStation as well. I don't know if it'll be like the Wii or not, where the app will still be there. I'm not sure. But I don't know if it'll still be there. But I do know that they are getting rid of it. But the fact that it still was working on the PlayStation 3 for so long is really crazy. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so I mean, we're getting a little bit of some stuff for the Switch too, but like I said, not a lot. But I'm probably going to go ahead and, let this go, because speaking of Disney, I'm going to talk about their new CEO, because they now got a new CEO in there, but that'll be in the next video that I'll be doing on new stuff. But I will go ahead and let the video go for now, so see you all later. Bye-bye.